LimeLight's compensation plan, which is absolutely phenomenal, is set up to help you create a cascade of success. And that's how Michelle kind of presented it. And if you understand, and as you begin to really understand the compensation plan, you understand what I mean by cascade. And you basically have to start simply and just work effectively to really move through and really blast through these ranks. Okay, so first things first, as a beauty guide in training, which is what you are when you come on from the get-go, the first goal that you need to have as a beauty guide is $1,000 in personal sales. Without the $1,000 in personal sales, we can't progress any further. We want, ideally, we want you to complete this in your first 40 days, which will help you hit your first tier of Fast Start and get you $150 in product credit to spend. So that's ideally what we would push you or want you to do because you definitely benefit from that. Is it doable for everybody? No, it's not. And I don't want you to set an expectation of yourself that if you don't reach this, you fail. I do, however, want you guys to set those initial goals within your minds. So once you hit your first 1,000 personal sales, you're eligible to promote to lead beauty guide and above. And that's what we're going to go into from here. So I just wanted to make that clear before I continue that this initial goal has to be met prior to anything that I'm about to talk about further in this presentation. All right, so we're going to go into lead beauty guide. What you need for lead beauty guide is very simple. It's $300 in personal retail volume for the current month. So that's retail volume. If you're buying at wholesale, it's still going to count as retail towards your progress. For lead beauty guide, you also need 2 active beauty guidelines. Now, what this means is you need to have sponsored 2 people under you. You need to have enrolled 2 people or you have to have 2 people beneath you at least. And in those separate legs, have at least 1 person in each leg that has over $300 for the current month. Now, they don't have to be the first person in that leg. It can be someone 10 people down. It's absolutely irrelevant where that person falls in the leg as long as you have 2 different lines that are completely active and with 1 person minimum making at least $300 for that current month. And the next and last thing you need for lead beauty guide is $2,500 in total group retail volume for that current month. What does this mean? That means that you and every single person in your downline or your team their total group sales in retail value equals or exceeds $2,500. All right, so let's give you an example of what this can look like. So I'm going to give it to you as simply as possible because 1, I lack screen space, and 2, I want you to understand that you can do this with 2 other people on your team. So let's say here's you, and this month you have $1,105 in sales, and you have Sue, who has $896 in sales, and Jan, who's got $517. Well, that makes you a lead, and the reason is because your total group retail volume is over 2,500, and you have 2 beauty guides with 300 or more personal retail volume for the month that don't fall into the same line. Now, if Jan was under Sue, you would not be a lead because you would have 1 qualified leg, whereas this one, because they are in separate legs direct to you, they are going to count as your 2 active legs. So simple as that. That is literally how simple it is to get lead. So then we're going to talk about Star Beauty Guide because once you hit lead, naturally, you're going to want to hit Star. You're going to get that paycheck. You're going to go, oh my gosh, what am I going to make when I hit Star Beauty Guide? How easy is this? All you have to do is then duplicate exactly what you did in that previous month when you hit lead with 1 person in your downline. So let's talk about what you need. 300 in personal volume for the current month. So it's a new month. You need your 300 in. You need 3 active beauty guidelines. So with lead, you needed 2. Now you need 3. So you need at least 3 people direct to you in separate legs. And you need 5,000 total retail group value for the current month. So you and everybody in your downline, your sales, your retail sales as a whole need to meet or exceed 5,000 in $5,000. And you need 1 lead beauty guide. Okay, so when I said earlier that in order to hit star, you need to take what you did to hit lead and duplicate that in your downline. So let's talk about that and see what it looks like. You did another month at 1,105 sales, and here is Sue at 896 for the month. You have Jan at 517, and look at here, you sponsored another one, and her name's Lynn, and she's got 219 for the month. So you don't have your 3 active legs yet, but you've got 2 active legs. Now, what you're going to do to hit star is you're going to go and decide who in my downline do I think is really going to be pushing to hit lead this month. And you're going to go, that's Sue. So this month, Sue and I have been talking, and she's told you, I've got a couple of girls who are really interested in joining, and they're ready to run with this, and I've got parties booked. I'm ready to go. So you say, okay, Sue, well, we're going to get you to lead this month. And Sue, you're going to talk to Sue and explain to her exactly how you did or how you completed lead. Now, also this month, Jan sponsored Jenny and Lynn sponsored Joan, and so they're growing. Jenny hasn't had any sales this month, and Joan's done $398. Well, look at that. Joan, because she's over her $300 mark, Jan's over the $300 mark, Sue is over the $300 mark, you have the 3 active legs that you need for star. So now we just got to work on Sue. Well, Sue did exactly what she said, and she sponsored Sam, Mel, and Aaron. And Sam's rocking it out with $200 in sales. Mel has her $714 in sales, and Aaron's brought in a whopping $1,391 in sales. Well, guess what? Sue is now a lead because her total group volume, she not only got her 2,500, but she went over, and she and her 3 girls rocked it out in the month, and they got 3221 total group retail, which is amazing. And Mel was one of her active lines, and Erin was her second active line, which gave her everything that she needed to hit lead. Now, that puts you to star because you have your lead. Sue made it. She did exactly what she was going to do. She duplicated the process that you did the month prior, and she rocked it out and hit her goal. Your total group retail value is over 5,000, which all of your girls, you guys whipped it up, pulled it together, and did your 5,000, and you got your 3 beauty guides with $300 or more in 3 separate legs. You did it. You hit star. So it was as simple as recreating what you had done in the previous month with somebody who you knew was running. So Sue, at this point, it looks like Sue's going to probably be your strongest leg. And you and Sue are going to work really, really closely together because you want Sue to duplicate every single thing that you do. So next month, what's going to happen? You're going to go, okay, Sue, we're going to push you to star. Exactly what I did this month. We're going to find somebody in your downline who's ready to run, and we're going to push her to lead, which is going to get you to star. All right, you ready, set, go. Okay, and that's the conversation you're going to have with Sue. Now, what about you? Because you can't just work with Sue, you have to build evenly, right? So we want to talk about that, creating, how we're creating this cascade. So here's you, and you're going to go to Sue. All right, Sue, it's time to find somebody in your downline that you know is ready to run with this. Who have you been talking to that has expressed that they're ready to hit lead? And Sue's going to go, well, I was talking to all 3 of my girls, and I am putting my money on Erin because Erin has potentials lined up. She's rocking out her parties, and she is really doing it. And you say, all right, Sue, you're going to work with Erin, and while you work with Erin and build the star, I'm going to work with Lynn. And I am going to start with Lynn in working with her because she has showed interest in hitting lead. So Sue, I will check in with you. You stay close to Erin and work with Sam and Mel. Make sure you get your 5,000. I'm going to come over here and work with Lynn, and we're going to get her to lead while you do that. Perfect. All right. So what happens here? Through the month, Erin, she sponsors Dina and Tamra, and those girls are rocking their sales. They're doing it, right? Erin gets what she needs to hit lead over the course of the month, and through all of the group sales, including Sam and Mel's contributions, Sue hits over $5,100. She hits over the mark, and she gets everything that she needs for Star. And meanwhile, while Sue was working with her team to hit Star and you were checking in periodically, you were working with Lynn to get her to lead because Lynn had people on the line. Lynn sponsored her 2 people that she knew they were coming over. They got their kits, they started running with it. She brings Joan and Gina over, and their sales are on. So Joan brings in almost $400, Gina brings in over $1,200, and that combined with Lynn's $800 puts her to lead. So we get her as lead. She's over that $2,500 mark. She's got 2 active legs. She has everything that she needs. And next month, we're going to start pushing her to Star. Now, where does that put you? Okay, after all this work, right? We started off building one lead, and that was yourself. You put yourself to lead. Then you duplicated that with Sue, and we brought Sue up to lead, which pushed you to Star. And then we worked with Sue to duplicate exactly what you did. And we trained her because we showed Sue proper leadership, that I'm going to work with you, that I'm going to help you. And Sue duplicated that process and got herself to Star. Now you then, after Sue was set, you began working on another leg. As soon as Sue hit lead and she was pushing for Star, you found the next strongest person in your downline and you said, you know what? She's running, she's focused. I'm going to work with her really, really closely. That doesn't mean you ignore the rest of your team, but you work really closely with Lynn and you start over that process. You start your new lead. As soon as Lynn is solid in lead, you're going to find another person. Now, you can't get director with just a star and a lead. You need 5 active lines, but because you don't just work with one person at a time, you were working your business through the month and you sponsored Dia, who brought in $302 in sales, and you also brought in Jamie, who got over $300 in sales. That got you 5 active legs. It got you a star beauty guide. It got you a lead beauty guide, and your total group retail volume exceeded $10,000. You guys did it. You rocked out the month. You guys seriously kicked some butt this month. Well, guess what? Because of the hard work and because of the duplicatable process that you've created within your teams, and you start setting them up for something, it's as simple as building one lead at a time. Let's get you to lead, and then let's duplicate that. Because of that work that you're putting in now, that duplicatable work, you hit director. And you are now a LimeLight by Alcone beauty guide director, which is a huge accomplishment. You get your amazing GG New York clutch from home office. You seriously knocked it out of the park, right? That is how simple it truly is. And it's when we overthink and we start looking too far ahead that we think this is much harder than it is. But it's as simple as building yourself to lead beauty guide, identifying an amazing leader who you know is focused in your downline, and just duplicating that process with her and training her to then duplicate that within their teams. And it creates a chain reaction. So it's, like I said, creating a duplicatable process. It's simple. Lead beauty guide, you need 2 active lines and $2,500 in total retail value. That can be done. And when you continue to duplicate that and grow one leader at a time, you will see that you advance further and further. All right, so completing a task, which is hitting your lead or hitting lead for your first time, identifying a strong team player, having he or she begin that task that you had just completed. It's like, let's just duplicate this. I hit lead this month. This is how I did it. I made sure that I had 2 people in my downline. They were over 300 or more, and we hit 2,500 in retail volume. Now I want you to do that. Let's work on it. Um, Identifying your next strong leader. So once you have that one lead that's pushed you to star, it's time to find your next one. Who's your next strongest team player? Who's the next in line? Who's the next strongest focus? Maybe you sponsored someone who's a runner since your first one came along and you're ready. And you begin that coaching process with him or her, and you can continuously repeat this process. And every time you level up, every time you promote, you're teaching the person who pushed you there how to duplicate it. So once you hit director, you're going to start helping Sue. Now it's your turn. We're getting you to director. And then you go back over and you help your second strongest leg start pushing for star. You start helping your third strongest leg pushing for lead. You start working and continuously building your new leads. And through that process and working just one step at a time, you will create that cascade, and you will promote quickly and effectively and that's not even a word. But you will continuously move through the ranks, and your team will be energized, they will be properly trained, they will have that special focus, and it will be simple. It's about simplicity and understanding that it's as simple as creating leads and training them to do exactly what you did that previous month to hit your promotion, and now it's their turn. So I hope this helped. I hope you guys understand how to build and how to move through the ranks of this company. It is absolutely an amazing compensation plan. It's motivating to your teams. You guys, as you move through, will be very, very, very pleased with how simple it goes. It's just about understanding how to go about it and how to do it effectively. So I hope this helps, and I will talk to you soon.